and I'm live. Hello, happy Wednesday. I wanted to come on today and talk a little bit about heart health, cancer, and eating a whole food plant-based diet. And what do I mean about whole food plant-based? So this topic is really important to me. I think it's a very important topic, and I thought it was very relevant to this month, February, because it is Heart Health Month and also National Cancer Prevention Month. And those of you that may, probably are familiar with these diseases. Heart health and cancer both are very common. They are the leading heart health. Well, I'll start with heart health. Heart health is one of the leading causes of death. Heart health is still #1 killer for women. So to me, that is huge, especially for women to learn how to take care of the hearts. That is so important. And a lot of it has to do, or most cases do have to do related to lifestyle and diet, which I think is why, this topic to me is so interesting, because many of you know my expertise is in nutrition and food. And as a dietitian, I have a lot of background and knowledge about this topic. And also personally, in my family, I have history of heart disease. I think I mentioned this morning when I went live on my Instagram story, but my grandfather is still with us. He's very lucky to still be here, but he was, or he has had multiple surgeries on his heart. And he has high cholesterol, which has ran also down to my mom. And my mom is a runner, fairly healthy, has definitely, later in life really wanted to eat healthier and try and kind of learn on her own about how to eat healthier. But it still surprised me that my mom still had high cholesterol. And then knowing that, right, I went in college, which I would say I did gain weight. I wasn't the best of shape. I was kind of running, going to the gym a little bit, but not really running competitively, not really paying attention to my diet. I was working at the dining hall, so I ate there a lot. So I wasn't really cooking a lot on my own either. But anyways, I got my cholesterol check in college, and my cholesterol was nearly high, they told me, which I was shocked. I think soon after that was when I started to change my diet and switch to eating more plants. So I went from pescatarian, so just eating fish, to then eating vegetarian, and then I went full plant-based. So, my phone is going to die. So I might have to grab my charger. Let's hope it doesn't die on me. I'm so sorry. Okay, so where was I? So heart health, yes, it's the leading cause, a leading cause of death, right? And cancer is still up there too. There are many cases of cancer. I wrote down the number, 12.7 million cases every year of cancer in the United States. So that is crazy. That's a really high amount. And then when you look at the research that shows that in most cases, and not all, in some cases, cancer cannot be related to diet, but in most cases it is related to diet and lifestyle. So that's why I think this is so important. And when you look at evidence, which I think is so awesome at where we are now in 2019, there's so much more evidence that there was before about eating a plant-based diet and what that can do for you. So really I want to explain too what I mean by whole food plant-based. So whole food plant-based diet, which I don't really want to call it a diet, I would rather call it a lifestyle approach, because that's really what it is. But basically, it's like, I don't want to say it is like, but what it is really is your vegetables, your whole grains, nuts, seeds, legumes, fruit, few or no animal products. So this does not mean you cannot have any animal products. So for those that may be hesitant, like, Kayla, I understand that, plant-based eating is the best for me and I should eat more plants, but I really like to eat animal products. I really like meat. I can't do that. I can't cut it all out. That is okay. Because by just limiting red meat and limiting high fatty meats, that's going to benefit you. That's going to help your heart. That's going to limit your chances of cancer. So to me, or what I would recommend or suggest is any change that you can make or any limit that you can do is great. You do not have to go full vegan. You do not have to completely eliminate certain animal products if you enjoy them. Because I do believe that you should be able to eat the foods that you enjoy, and we should not restrict ourselves so much that we cannot have those foods anymore. But what's important is, especially if you have a history of heart health or heart disease and cancer in your family, then yes, you're going to want to pay attention to certain foods that could increase, right, your cholesterol related to heart disease, right, or your fats, your HDL. So that's really important too, right? So it's really important to losing my train of thought. So yes, it's really important to start wherever you are, because that is going to be beneficial. So I'm not saying, you have to completely eliminate whole food or animal products, but it will, the evidence does show that it will help prevent these diseases. So I think that's super important to understand, to start wherever you are. And another thing that I wanted to talk about or mention was also activity. Physical activity is huge for both heart health and cancer. Physical activity is there's just evidence around that shows that it will help prevent these diseases. So I cannot tell you enough of just moving your body any way you can. We just know there's evidence that sitting is just not good for us. Unfortunately, it's not your fault. It's the way our lifestyles and our cultures are now. They're set up to be more sedentary, right? So it's a lot harder. And then we have availability of fast food, right? So we have so much availability to fast food that it's convenient, it's easier, it's cheaper, right? But we know that food is not good for us to eat all the time, at least. But once in a while, yes, that's perfectly fine. It is not going to make too much of a difference if you have fast food once a year at all. So what else I wanted to mention? Oh, yes, this is my other point that I really wanted to make sure I mentioned too on this topic. So quality of a whole food plant-based diet is also very important. So for one, if you're eliminating animal products, you can go into you can have nutrient deficiencies. So what that means is, because you're eliminating food groups from your diet, there are certain nutrients that you are not going to be able to get in your diet. So it's super important that you understand what nutrients you still need to get in your diet, because that will affect how you feel, right? Especially vitamin B12, and vitamin B12 is very important for cognitive function. So for your memory, for thinking, you need vitamin B12, but if you're limiting or not eating any animal products, then you're not getting vitamin B12 in your diet. So it's very important. And what's hard about that is that you really need somebody to work with, somebody that understands understands your diet and what you're eating and what you are limited in, and figure out how to help you to figure out other foods that you could eat on this sort of lifestyle, but also what you or supplements if that's necessary. And supplements, there's a lot of it's hard to choose what supplements to use, and really I believe the best approach to do that, or to know what supplements you should take based on your diet, your medications, is really talking to a nutritionist or a registered dietitian. That is just really important, because that's like, you I don't know, you get sick, say you have I don't know, a sinus infection, you go to the doctor, right, to get medication. It's just like that. Seeing a nutritionist and dietitian is how you will get the best care to figure out how to get the nutrients that you are missing in your diet. So I cannot say enough of how important that is. But also, another thing about supplements too is there is research that shows that supplements do not prevent these diseases. So even if you just take these supplements, there are supplements that you think the nutrients that you need are not going to prevent. So what that means is your diet and what you eat through food is especially important in preventing these diseases. By just thinking that, oh, I can eat whatever I want and just take supplements for the nutrients that are going to help prevent these diseases, that's not how it works. It's not going to prevent it. And also, I think it's important to note that changes too in your lifestyle, they take time. And that's why I want to stress, that's why it's important to have a coach. A coach is what can help you to, be your cheerleader, be your accountability partner, help you figure out a plan that works for you, but also that you can learn to use throughout your life. So not only are you going to be able to get a plan, but you can work with them to figure out a plan that you can learn how to create these changes to be sustainable throughout your life without that coach, right? But to get started, it's important to have them it could take 6 to 9 months though to get there, right? Because it takes time to learn, it takes time to see those changes. But I cannot say enough about how important it is to have a coach, to have a cheerleader, and also to have a nutritionist or a dietitian and really know this area of being able to help not only get where you want to go, but also have that background of, understanding how food works with medical issues, diseases, things like heart health and cancer, right? So, Eric, I just saw that you asked a question. So what's RDN stand for? So that's a very good question. RDN stands for Registered Dietitian Nutritionist. So we were just called Registered Dietitians, but a lot of people, I would say I'll say the public didn't quite understand, the general public didn't quite understand what a difference was between a registered dietitian and a nutritionist. So what they did, our certifying board, they added the nutritionist to the or the N to the RD. So now instead of just registered dietitian, which was RD, it's RDN for registered dietitian nutritionist. So the difference between that, I'll just explain that real quick since you asked. Nutritionist does not always have a degree in nutrition. Anybody can really call themselves a nutritionist, but a registered dietitian goes to school. Right now they get at least a bachelor's degree, which is a 4-year degree in nutrition. And then they do 1,200 hours of supervised practice, and then they take their board exam, and they have to pass that to get that credential. So if somebody calls themselves a nutritionist, that does not mean they're a registered dietitian, but a registered dietitian is a nutritionist. So that's why the nutritionist was added to RD. So the general public understood that a dietitian was also a nutritionist. So I hope that answers your question, but that's a very good question. So I hope you guys found this video valuable about heart health, cancer, and eating a whole food plant-based diet. I hope I answered some of the questions or things that you might be a little wary about adopting a lifestyle approach like this. And as I said, I cannot explain, I explained a couple points of how important it is to work with a registered dietitian and a coach that can really be there to answer your questions, to create meal plans, to not only just, creating not just a meal plan, but helping you figure out a plan that you can sustain throughout your life, right? So I cannot say enough how important that is. So of course I will throw this in there and say, if you are interested in working with a dietitian and a coach, I am taking on one-on-one clients right now. So if you are interested in adopting a whole food plant-based diet, then lifestyle, I have to stop saying diet, then please let me know. You can DM me on Facebook or Instagram, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. And I hope to talk to you guys all soon. So thank you very much for watching this video. Cannot thank you guys enough, and how grateful I am, all of you that do follow me consistently, that have been supporting me along my journey as I have become a dietitian and learned a lot more after since I have been a dietitian. So I just want to thank you guys. I'm so grateful for all of you. You guys are awesome. Let me know if also you have any questions. Of course, I would love to hop on here too if you guys have questions about anything related to adopting a whole food plant-based lifestyle. I'd love to hop on here and do a video, or even talk to you one-on-one. We can certainly do that too, and set up a call and get some of your questions answered for you. So I hope this was valuable. Like I said, again, I'm so grateful for all of you. Thank you for watching, and I will have another video like this next week on Wednesday at 8 o'clock. So definitely tune in if this video was valuable to you and helpful. So I hope to talk to you guys all soon.